Okay, June 13th. 1967, President Lyndon Johnson nominates Thurgood Marshall to the Supreme Court. Thurgood Marshall will become the first African American justice on the Supreme Court. So prior to that, it had all been white men, old white men, right? Um, Thurgood Marshall had a very successful law career leading up to his nomination. He had successfully argued Brown versus the Board of Education, which dealt with segregation in schools. Basically saying that the Plessy versus Ferguson separate but equal didn't apply to education because you just couldn't be equal. So he won. He argued 32 cases in front of the Supreme Court, winning 29 of them before he became member of the Supreme Court. Then he moved. So after he was in private practice and defending cases in front of the Supreme Court, then he became the Solicitor General. Solicitor General is basically the government's attorney. So if something's going to the Supreme Court and the government's being sued, the Solicitor General then goes and defends that the government's case. And in that case, he won 14 of the 19 cases that he represented the government on. So 1967, he's nominated to the United States Supreme Court, serves a very distinguished career. He's there for 24 years, retiring in 1991, and then passing away a few years later. So that's what I have for today. President Lyndon Johnson nominates Thurgood Marshall to the United States Supreme Court. I will see you tomorrow.